And what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the garage. This is part 2 to the Alky methanol injection kit on the C6 Corvette. And just like I mentioned on part 1, on part 2, we're mainly going to be focusing on the wiring. And I'm going to show you guys what I've done so far. I've not done much, but I'm going to try to record it all. First of all, you're going to have to remove your fuse box cover. And I've already done that. After that, we're wanting to get access to the fuel pump relay wire. Just on this thing, let me see if this thing will focus. 55 fuel pump. There you go. Anyways, and that will be this relay right here. So in order to get access to that, you're gonna have to remove your cover, of course, and then you have to remove. There's 4 7mm bolts that hold the whole entire thing together. Remove them 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then after you've done that, there's 4 clips all around the fuse box. Once you've clipped them, you can just go ahead and pull it right out like this, and you'll have access to all the MIDI components, all the MIDI electrical components under there. Again, we're wanting to get this section out, which is this one right here. This is one that this is how it'll look once you pull it out. This one is for this section right here. We wanted this one because we're trying to get access to that fuel pump relay wire. And once you've done that, there's a cover again that has clips on them. Clip them, and you're wanting to get the big gray wire on this section right here, which is it's this one right here. You can't miss it. It's the only one on here. So this is your fuel pump relay wire that you want to splice into. So once you splice into that, you're gonna take your relay for your pack controller, and you're gonna have to wire your gray wire from your relay. You're gonna splice onto that gray wire on the fuel line, the fuel wire. So the gray one's gonna go there. This is your power. This one's gonna go here. And then you have your ground that's gonna go, I'm gonna ground it somewhere in here. And then of course you have your red wire that's gonna go inside the cabin. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this all done. All right, so I went ahead and put everything back together. Really, there was not much to it. Just like I said, you tap into the gray wire. You can choose just to wrap electrical tape around it, or you can solder the wire together and then wrap electrical tape around it. After you do that, you go ahead and put all the electrical components back into the fuse box. And then you put the cover on there, you put your 4 bolts, and you make sure that all clip together, and you'll be done with this section. Here's where I mounted my relay. I got the relay here, and then I have my ground cable mounted to the hood latch bolt on this side. Then I have my power cable here, and the fuse, there's a fuse that goes in here, I mounted it here. Then I went ahead and I used the wire wrap on the big red long wire that goes inside the car all the way down through the firewall. And I ran the ground cable through here too, along with the gray cable that's going into the fuel pump relay. As you can see, there's the cable. It's probably about 4 or 5 inches. The rest of it is wrapped all the way down here with electrical tape, along with the ground cable. This is the ground cable. Just to clean it up a little bit. I mean, it looks okay. As far as this goes, I think I'm gonna lower it down here, just so I can try to hide it, and so that it'll look somewhat decent and clean. But as far as under the hood section, we're done with that. We're gonna move into the inside of the car and start working on the pack controller. All right, as far as the wiring goes for this part, you're basically done. Before I tuck everything under the dash, I'm gonna show you guys what I did. Now again, you can run it under your dash, you can run it behind your seat, you can run it in your glove box. Whatever you choose to do, that's up to you. So I'm gonna start with the pat box. This is your pat box, and everything that plugs into this box is basically plug and play. Now your test box will be connected to this. This wires right here. These are your pump wires that you ran through the firewall will connect to this. Your 6-pin connector plug will connect to this, and your power source will connect to this. So I've got everything laid out, and I'm gonna start with the LED turn on light. Now again, never mind. We're gonna forget that. We're gonna start with the 6-pin connector. Now your 6-pin connector has 6 wires that are coming out of it, and they're all color coded. When you get your kit, you know, it will come with instructions, and it will come with it will tell you what connects to what. So, you know, like for instance, you have your turn on LED light, brown goes to brown, orange goes to orange. And I've got done brown to brown, orange to orange, and I have a extra wire running in between just so that I can keep it long enough. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do this, where I'm going to place it at. Then you have your map sensor, and again, red to red, green to green, and of course you have your ground wire, and then you have your vacuum hose that you ran through your firewall. That will be going onto the boost gauge, and you have your power source connector. This will go to ground, and this one will go to the red wire that we ran through the firewall from the fuse box. Well, from the power source next to the fuse box. And then this will connect to the pat box. Now I'm gonna go ahead and try to tuck all this stuff under the dash nice and neatly. And again, as far as this part goes, everything just plugs into the pat box, you know, and all the wires are color coded, and you're basically done with this setup as far as the wiring goes. All right, guys, so I wasn't planning on filming this, but I figured I'd do so just to show you guys what I've done under the dash. As you saw earlier on the 6-pin connector, there was a lot of wires coming out of it. It just looked messy. Get you some wire protective wrap and run everything inside, and it will make everything look so much better. This is all my wiring right here. This is all my wiring. It looks good. Just wanted to show you guys that. That's where my ground cables go, and I'm gonna run this under the dash. And there's my pack controller over there, and like I said, everything just plugs into that, and you're basically done. Alright guys, so before you tuck everything nice and neatly under your dash, or try to make everything look real good like me, please make sure that the system works. Don't make that mistake. I made it, and it was just horrible. But anyways, I'm gonna show you guys what happened, what went wrong. As far as the wiring goes, everything was done right. You know, the wires, the connecting, everything was done right. The problem was my ground cable to the relay box. I grounded it here. There was no ground there. I tried it here. No ground. Still no power. So I finally went and got me a test light, and you know, I looked for a good ground post, and found this one. This is perfect. Turned my car on. I got power. Tested the kit. That's what it's supposed to do. But again, you know, it was a headache because, like I had mentioned, that the kit was used, and if the kit would have been new, then I would have thought maybe I did something wrong. But you know, the kit was used, and I didn't know if maybe the relay was bad or fuses were blown in the, I don't know. But that's what happens when you buy a used kit. You know, you run into stuff like this, and you just don't know where to start. But again, it was just my ground cable, and that was it. But it took me a little while to figure it out. I had to pull everything back out and double check everything. But that is it for part 2. Part 3, I'm gonna be doing the charge pipe and the intake manifold, and then we'll be done. Because as far as the system goes, it works. You know, it turns on. You know, you test it, it goes from red to green, and there's pressure in there. It works. So I'm gonna catch you guys on part 3, and then after that, we'll be looking for a tune. Alright, here's how you know it's working. I'm gonna hit the test button. I already turned the knob all the way to 8. Push. That's how it works. Not some plain water. It works. Alright guys, that is it for part 2. Please like the video, subscribe. I'll see you on part 3.